So Bitcoin is trading at just under 66K. Things are looking bullish again, but it's sitting at resistance. We've had the halving. Things are looking very interesting now. We've got altcoins also sitting at resistance zone. So today we're going to look, is this the last buy we're going to get for these altcoins before these things absolutely rip? We're seeing them sitting at resistance now. What is the next plan going to be? Then I'm looking at some BRC20 things and BTC ecosystem things for you. I've got a couple of AI tokens. I've got some gaming. I've got a layer one. We've got a lot going on here. We're back in South Africa. It's good to be back. Let's get right into this. So it looks like all the fun started happening when I was traveling back. I mean, we had a wild time in Dubai. For those of you that don't know, half of Banter went to Dubai. We had the conference there and there was a whole lot of action. And for those of you that I met there, it was great to meet you guys. It was an awesome trip. But now good to be back and all systems go at the beginning of the week. But unfortunately, I missed this move. I was traveling for the last, say, 36 hours trying to get back from Dubai. And it was absolutely a wild ride. So a little bit of FOMO now that I missed the bottom of some of these moves on these alts, and we're trying to scrape together a couple of potential setups now on some of them at resistance. So we're going to look at the current situation and what I'm asking myself here all the time now, this little recovery that we've had this halving situation move on now. Are we going to get a nice little push from these altcoins? So I'm going to tell you a couple of reasons why I think we could get some moves out of these alts as well. But Banter Bubbles is looking so juicy here. And you can see at the top, I got the ticker at Banter Bubbles now. This thing is ticking over. This is my GUMMY airdrop ticker. And as you know, there was a very successful GUMMY token launch this past weekend. It might have been the cleanest meme coin to ever be launched. If you guys want to know more about the GUMMY story and things like that, you can look and or listen to Uncle Run's spaces that he's just done a couple of hours ago on Twitter. So if you want to find out more, you want to find out how clean this meme coin was and how he went about things, well, take a listen to the spaces here. Go to Run's Twitter and follow and take a listen as to what is going on. And believe it or not, you can trade GUMMY now on Blofin at the moment. And there's going to be a couple of more exchanges coming out for you guys. So if you're interested in the GUMMY situation, there is another GUMMY airdrop coming. So if you missed the first one, I don't know how you missed the first one, but if you did miss the first GUMMY airdrop, there is a second opportunity for you guys. So take a look in the show description here and you can see what they're saying. They're saying sign up and deposit to any of our partner exchanges in that list below. And you will then be able to take part in the next GUMMY airdrop. Now, just a reminder, those of you that got the GUMMY airdrop, and especially the Sniper Club guys that took advantage of that airdrop, all you had to do if you were a Sniper Club member was literally send us your wallet address for the airdrop. And the value of those tokens now is something like $1,000 or something on average for people who were just sitting in the Sniper Club. All you had to do was submit your address. So that was a really successful launch there, and Sniper Club memberships paid in one airdrop there for you guys. So well done to Chaos, who's actually in the chats. Chaos runs the airdrops and all these fun things in Sniper Clubs for you guys. So all credit to the way Chaos managed that for us, and he absolutely owned it. So well done. The 1,800 members in Sniper Club that actually sent the addresses, you guys have benefited, and you guys are cooking. So Chaos, if you're in their chats there, well done, bro. Good work. Let's get into some BTC things now before I get more distracted and start talking about all these other things. I can see the chats are lighting up here on GUMMY at the moment. Okay, here we are with BTC. So this is BTC on the 4 hour, and missed a little bit of the action over the last while, but I am currently sitting in a BTC long at the moment. It's nothing serious. I'm going to show you guys shortly that position. And what am I planning now? What am I looking at the moment? Well, number one, we can see that BTC is at a clear resistance zone at the moment. Okay, so until we start breaking resistance areas, we can't get that excited. So we've had a nice little move here for BTC, and we're pushing into this resistance band. So level number one that we need to watch here at resistance, 66,400. This is now a big area for us for BTC, 66,400. And then I've got a monster zone up here, and I'm saying why it's a monster zone. Number one, there's a trend in the way. Number two, I've got a 618 fib in the way. And number three, I've got the 50-day moving average in the way. And we know that 50-day MA is massive support and resistance for Bitcoin and altcoins when we get to that area. So what am I looking at now for a bullish situation? Well, if the bulls do come to the party in the next couple of hours, and I'm going to show you why they could potentially be coming, I'm looking for a push up here through this trend. I would expect a rejection at this big zone, and then the real pullback buy is going to be the test of this region in that area, and maybe a little bit lower if they are going to bleed us out a little bit more. So this is my bull case right now. This is what I'm looking for, and this is why I'm floating in a BTC long at the moment. So I'm going to show you guys that position shortly, and then any pullbacks for me that I'm watching. Well, number one, I've got a nice 382 region. This was a nice little retracement zone that we pulled earlier. So area number one that I'm watching, 64,600. That is zone number one. Then zone number two is a bullish pullback down to the regular 382 retracements. That's 63,700. So watch that guy. And then I've got a huge one here, and this could really offer us an opportunity. Let's say, for instance, they want to melt us down in the next 2 days before we get a potential push here on the markets, which I'm going to explain to you guys why I think we're going to get one. This area lower down here, around about say 62,300 up to about 62,500 for me is a big zone that we need to pay attention to. And other than this previous 786 support, we can see that we also have a 618 in this region. So I'm just going to highlight the 618 for you guys quickly. And that is sitting there next to the 786. So watch this region, 62,300 to 62,500, anywhere in that region. That is going to be a juicy zone for us. And that might be the sign or the low of a potential pullback here. That could slingshot us and send us a little bit higher. So these are the levels I'm watching closely now over the next 24 hours. Okay, let's take a look quickly. Oh, I see Michael saying the bulls are in control. Yeah, it certainly feels that way at the moment. And if these bulls keep coming, we might get some kind of short squeeze as well. So things are looking a little bit interesting here for us. This is my current trade for BTC. I'm in prime XBT at the moment, and still in a BTC long. You can see my average entry there was 64,800, and I am 0.75 BTC long. So we're going to see if we start blowing that resistance area. That's going to then give me an opportunity to start adding to this position, and maybe we can grow a little bit more exciting size in that trade. And if we pull back lower, well, I'm just going to watch these supports here under this region here. This is the 1 hour. I'm going to see what happens here at the 64,300 level. We'll just we'll play it by ear, but that is my current situation. Okay, and then some interesting news out there in the markets. Are these guys mad? Do they really want to be like us? Do they really want to be on the weekends looking at their phones, opening positions on the couch, in the toilet, in the shower? Do these guys really want 24/7 trading on the New York Stock Exchange? Can you imagine with these guys doing that? I mean, it's hard enough that we have crypto doing that as a 24-hour supply of trading. And now there's a proposal going out there that the New York Stock Exchange, they're considering 24/7 traders. I mean, that is going to kill the guys out there that are trading, and the ladies, of course. But you know, it's one thing having crypto available all the time. Now imagine you have all these markets on the weekend. I don't know. I think it's a bad idea. I think it's gonna wreck guys on the weekends. And just some macro stuff going out here. This is one of the reasons why I think we could see a little bit of energy in the crypto market. There's a couple of earnings coming out this week, and notable ones for us that we always see some kind of spark in the markets. For me, Tesla. That's always a good one. We got Meta, which is Facebook. We've got Google and Microsoft, and Snapchat also been known to pump things a little bit, you know, back in the day. So these big earnings this week, this could be a catalyst for us. This could give the S&P a little bit of energy. We've seen the S&P has been drifting lower over the last couple of weeks, and maybe this is going to be the little firecracker that the market needs at the moment, just to give things a little bit of a push higher. And then don't forget, I think next month we got NVIDIA earnings coming up again. So should we be looking at a couple of AI tokens as well, just leading into those earnings? We know they like to get bullish there. So I've got two AI tokens that I have prepped for you guys that we can start looking at today. And then this was a cool tweet. Ali Charts, I like this guy. He says, every time the Bitcoin MVRV ratio falls below its 90-day average since November 22. It signals a prime BTC buying opportunity. Okay, the average gain is 67% when it hits this area. So take a look at his charts, and this nice little tweet here, and quite a bullish tweet that he's got there. And then 𝗘𝗫𝗧𝗧, major catalyst for parabolic Bitcoin and altcoin run. Okay, I'm loving what Kyle is saying here. He says halving is complete tick. Okay, study historical price action in months after halving. Okay, I'm going to show you. An interesting tweet about that as well. BTC ETF demand is going to rise exponentially. He says Hong Kong ETF approval isn't priced in, and Total 3 hasn't broken all-time high yet. Okay, so 𝗘𝗫𝗧𝗧 is super bullish at the moment. He's feeling the vibes, and now based on his comment here that he was talking about, saying study price action after the BTC halving. Take a look at this tweet from Crypto T. She said Bitcoin did 92x after the 2012 halving, 30 after 2016, 8 after 2020. What do you think happens next, Ray? How many X's, bro? 2x? 3x? No X? Oh, I can't hear you. Ray's disappeared. Wait, he's muted. There we go. You go. Your mic's not connected, bro. Head of likes. We need that mic back. Okay. Ray will come back to us. He'll give us his opinion.
3 to 5.
3x to 5x. That takes us to 180k, Ray. Okay, so Ray's bullish. And I see 𝗬𝗓𝗢𝗓 says the white cap is the ultimate bullish signal. Yes, I thought I'd start this Monday after a green weekend, with the bull cap on. I mean, we got to start the week like this after a couple of green candles. Okay, what else have I got? Oh, crypto roto. Right now, pay attention to this. If BTC is going to pump, okay, what do we like to do? We like to look at BTC-related tokens, BRC20s, layer 2s like stacks. What has he got here? Launchpad, bridges. So follow Crypto Roto, okay? He's now made an interesting point here saying if you want to maximize the BTC narrative, look at these things. If BTC is going to start pumping now after the halving, maybe you want to start exploring some of these items in his list. And Roto was kind enough to offer Sniper Club a deep dive into this current runes situation. So those of you that are wondering what runes is, well, Sniper Club members, you're going to get a nice little breakdown from Roto. He's going to explain the whole thing to you in the Sniper Club. But take a look at that. There's a lot of action in this BTC ecosystem lately, and it has also pumped the fees for the miners. So these miners are cooking, and I wouldn't be surprised to see some of the mining stocks as well start pumping now with this launch of runes over the last while. So things are definitely looking more bullish out there than they were last week. It was a very quite annoying week because we were there at this Dubai conference, the Token 49. Everyone was hyped and the market was bleeding us out. It was quite a contradiction here, but nice to see a little bit of a turnaround in the current events. Okay, let's take a look at Titan of Crypto. So he had an interesting take on dominance here, and this is also another point that I wanted to talk to you guys about. And he's saying dominance is getting rejected by the 56% and the trend line. So he's looking at it a slightly different way to how I've been viewing it. But remember, when we see dominance rejections, these are good for the altcoins. So that is ultimately what we want to see. So that is a nice little bullish post that he's sending us. So here is my current dominance chart that I'm watching. And if we take a look at this closely, there's a couple of pointers to me on the weekly that is telling us that potentially we are going to get this downside that we want in dominance and ultimately the relief for some of the altcoins. And the first pointer that we can see on the weekly is there's a little bit of bearish divergence. So bearish divergence is essentially when this RSI starts ticking lower and printing lower highs, and the price or the price ticker starts printing higher highs along the way. It's telling us we're running out of momentum and things could be slowing down. So things are definitely looking interesting here for dominance after that pump into that 57% and the rejection. It is notable that we did close under this previous weekly resistance zone as well. So let's keep our eyes on this current dominance, but we do need to understand we are on support at the moment. So nothing wrong with a bit of a dominance bounce, but if dominance bounces here, we do want to see it paired with a BTC pump rather than a BTC dump, because then these altcoins are going to start feeling a little bit of pain. So once again, what do I want to see? I want to lose this rising wedge and send it lower. That's going to free up those altcoins for us. We got to see the order of events, but in step number one, we got BC. We need BTC to start cracking some resistance areas, and then we can start loosening up a little bit there. Okay. Let's see who is cooking here in the chat. There's lots of GUMMY fans here. Lots of GUMMY fans. Rishan says GUMMY is pulling back at the moment. Well, we can see the GUMMY chart now. It's on Blowfin. Maybe Rishan is trading 5-minute candles. What do we got here? We got the 1-hour candle, and it seems to be cruising at the moment. So yeah, so far so good. I mean, GUMMY really did do some crazy X's there on launch, and I really recommend, guys, listen to that Spaces that Uncle Run did for you guys. Really informative. Kevin says, hey, what's up? Thomas says, welcome back. And yeah, let's actually fire up this bullhorn. Jeez. I mean, I had so much fun in Dubai, and one of the things was a massive hangover, courtesy of Dubai, but I also got stuck in that flood. For those of you that don't know, there is a tweet that I dropped with a video of me stuck in the water. I'm not going to show you guys now. I did show you guys last week, but if you want to laugh, I was basically walking alone down the highway in Dubai on the fence in the middle of the highway, then running through water. And yeah, no, it was a rough ride. It was a proper rough ride. Nice entry into Dubai, but we made it out. We made it out unscathed and alive. Okay, let's go. Easy Algo. So those of you that don't know, Easy Algo is an in-house indicator we have here, and I was very happy to see today. This is another indicator for us that we might have a bullish week. Okay, 95% of the tokens that Easy Algo is tracking opened above the weekly pivot. Now, we haven't seen that in a very long time. And the last time Easy Algo showed us 95% open below the weekly pivot, things were pretty bearish. And finally, we got 95% above the weekly pivot. So is that a sign for us that some of these alts are now going to start giving us a little bit of a push this week? So eyes on this, eyes on these weekly pivots here for Easy Algo. And if you're interested in Easy Algo, there is a link again in the description here underneath the show. So go there. There's a shopping list for you guys, and Easy Algo is there for you, and you can take part or get involved with Easy Algo by using Sniper Club, number one, or joining Easy Algo and using their free 3-day trial that they are offering you. Okay, another one, interesting one from Moustache. Again, he's pulled up the ETH BTC, and we can't stop looking at this thing. And you know, he's giving us a bullish take on it. We know Ben Cohen is telling us that it's a little bit bearish, but here's a bullish tweet from Moustache giving us his view, saying it's just a matter of time before we get this move on ETH BTC. And I wanted to pull this one up for you one more time, because we do have this bullish divergence currently here on ETH BTC on the weekly. Again, these things can sometimes take a little bit of time to play out, but the facts remain that these are showing in the chart, and we've got the RSI ticking higher and we've got the price pushing down lower. So what does that tell us? It tells us ultimately we're going to get some kind of reversal, even if it's some kind of short-term reversal. And you know, for me, I wouldn't be surprised if it pushes down into this trend in 618 and then gives us this nice mega push up that is going to give us a nice little move on these altcoins. It might not send everything to the moon, but it's going to give us a big move on some of these altcoins once we do get the reversal. So the signs are there on dominance turning over. The signs are there on ETH BTC pushing higher. We've also got Easy Algo telling us that we are sitting above weekly pivots. So maybe things are going to start looking a little bit more interesting for us. So let's just touch on ETH quickly. And this is ETH bigger picture for us, ETH on the weekly. And, you know, it was quite a bleed out last week, fair enough. And then they came back and they tried to test some of those weekly lows from the dip. And we saw these altcoins really held these levels. So those of you that were watching me last week, I gave you guys some big weekly levels on a lot of these tokens. And they really did play the part, and they really held things up for us. And I wouldn't say as expected, but you know, when you get a massive weekly level like that, they're very hard to break first time. They're very hard to break second time, and you can often rely on them for a nice strong bounce. And that is what we got from these altcoins. So let's see, you know, it remains to be seen. Let's see if they're going to hold these levels, but the signs are there, and things are looking like we might get some kind of relief rally. So ETH for me at the moment, nothing has really changed. Big level, 2,800. No reason to stop paying attention to that. That's the big guy. And you can play around with some lower levels here, lower weekly levels at 3,050. That is an area. But ultimately, what do we want to see? You can see we're in a clean or a clear downtrend now on ETH. And we've got a lot in the way. There's a lot of abuse in the way for ETH if it wants to push higher. 3-4 is an example of a big resistance zone or reaction area. So once we start breaking that area, then we can turn super bullish again on ETH. And that's most likely when we're going to see a very strong reversal there on that ETH BTC as well. So let's see how that is going to play out. Okay. Let's see who else is in the chat here. Christopher Brown is looking for Aero. There's a lot of Aero questions here. JJ wants Aerodrome Finance. Pac-Man is talking Rat Whiff. Let's see. Ed Balboa says, keep buying Gummy. I need exit liquidity. I think Gummy, guys, no shit. I think Gummy is a proper engine here that is going to start churning for you guys. There's staking, there's airdrops, there's all these things. And I wouldn't fade Uncle Run if I were you. He's a very smart man. So listen to his spaces. And I wouldn't fade Gummy at all. I think there's going to be some big plans there for you guys. And of course, these things could pull back and you could get some buy opportunities. So I'm not saying go and buy pumps and all these things. What the best thing you can do is start making sure you get a piece of these airdrops along the way. And when you get big weakness in Gummy, or you get big weakness in meme tokens in general, that's when you're looking for some buys. So just pay attention to the chart, keep tracking it. And there's a lot coming here. There's a lot coming for Gummy that we can see. I see Make Money, Travel, Enjoy. I actually met her in Dubai. She came to see us. She came to see the banter crew. And she said that Spaces with Run was great. So she listened to that. Let's see who else we got. Joy Banter says, the bearded guy. At some point, you guys will know my name. It's the Lord of Entry. Okay, you can get me there on Twitter. Okay, let's look at some BTC ecosystem things. So if we're going to be bullish on BTC, you know I love a bit of stacks. I love a bit of MUBI. I love a bit of ORDIs and those things. And just a reminder, the Nakamoto upgrade for stacks 2.5 is only 46 blocks away. If you're a fundamental person, that makes you excited. Okay, for me, I get excited by looking at the chart and looking at some price action. So what I like here about stacks at the moment, well, we can see a couple of things. We've seen Bitcoin push into a resistance area, and stacks has played the game perfectly and pushed into a resistance area as well. So these things are tied in very nicely at the moment. It's always nice when we see BTC and altcoins, reacting the same way. So stacks has pushed into resistance, and something you need to have on your watch list. Now, there's going to be a couple of plans here for these altcoins. So plan number one is, if things turn bullish, we're going to see Bitcoin start popping resistance zones and popping big areas. And at the same time, we should see a situation then where these altcoins start breaking through their current resistance zones. Then we're going to get a nice little pullback onto what we would hope is going to be some strong support. So that's option number one. And then option number two is BTC is going to reject now at this current resistance, either at that 67K that I showed you at that 50-day MA, or in the current area. And then we're going to have a nice little healthy pullback. And if you are a bull, you're going to be watching your 382, you're going to be watching your 618, and you're going to pick the one that is going to be tying in the strongest that you can find. So you can have two plans here at once for all these tokens. So stacks is a prime example here. And if Bitcoin turns bullish, this is what we want to see. We want to see it pop the 50-day MA. We want to see it pop the horizontal and the trend. Okay, so this is a big area here. The 3 level, 2.97 to 3, that's a big area. We want to see that pop, and then we want to confirm that support, and that's where we're going to get some nice buys in on that next little drift back onto the trend retest. And then we can start sending stacks. Now, remember, the minute Bitcoin gets hungry and starts pushing, you've got to lock onto stacks. You've got to keep your eyes on that thing, because it can run away from you very quickly. So pay attention to stacks. Watch it closely if Bitcoin turns bullish. And if Bitcoin starts pulling back, well, we're going to try and tie it in as best as possible with some good horizontal zones. So the areas I would suggest for you for stacks, if you are bullish this week and you believe the market is going to be pushing up based on all this information that we have in front of you, you want to make sure that you're grabbing stacks at these bullish zones. So area number one of interest for me for stacks, 2.77. Area number two of interest for me, 2.66. And then we've got a very juicy zone for stacks. And that's if Bitcoin ties into that 618 and pulls back into that 618 for me at 2.5. So watch these areas, mark them on your chart. These are going to be bullish zones for us that we're going to be watching. So remember, if we get Bitcoin pulling back onto the 618 region down here, okay, it looks far now, but this can happen, in the next 24 hours, even if they reject this thing. This is going to be around 62,300 to 62,500. What you want to do is keep your eyes on stacks as well and tie it in with a similar level there. So watch that 2.5 zone, watch it closely. We've got a trend there, we've got horizontals, and we've got 618 for you guys there. So this would be the prime high conviction area here. It's going to look something along these lines. And we're going to look for something bigger. And obviously, if we get that trend break, the plan is very simple. You want to pop that 50-day MA, and the minute we start getting pullbacks, we're going to look for a nice big move, something along those lines. That is the current plan. And let's see. Lou, what's Lou saying? What's up, Dill? Late to the party. Any render calls? I've got a render set up for you. It's coming. Have I dried my socks yet? Guys, it was such a mess. I must tell you, I'm actually wearing the shoes right now that I wore on that 8-hour walk. I had to walk back to my hotel from like the middle of Dubai in the water. It was an absolute mess. And I mean, it was water mixed with sewage and whatever was going on there. And I had to thoroughly wash these shoes and dry them with a hairdryer. It was absolutely messy. And yes, my socks were wet. I actually threw those socks away. Didn't want to keep them, but I did want to keep the shoes. The shoes were quite handy. Okay, another BTC ecosystem play, MUBI. This is a good one. Okay, now we have had a nice push this weekend, and MUBI's now broken a nice little area for us, and you can see what I'm eyeing here. You can see what I like about this current situation. So we've now broken into a little range here for MUBI. So I'm liking the look of this, and I'm looking for a little push higher. But what I want to see, well, number one, I want to see supports hold. So the first area that I like here for MUBI is this 382 tied in with horizontal. So anything down to 0.185, anything in this region for me could be a nice little bullish sign for us for MUBI. Now remember, this is a BTC ecosystem play, and this could be tied in very nicely. So watch this down to anything down to about 0.185. Watch that area, and then we have our banger 618 as well, and we got nice tie-in. Look at this tie-in here on these horizontals. So this looks like a nice juicy zone for us too. 0.16. Both of these zones, bullish pullback areas, nice little zones for us to start building positions. And especially if we are now bullish on this halving situation, we are bullish on the next few months going forward, we've got to start looking for these type of entries. So eyes on these 618s, eyes on the 382, and let's see if they're going to give it to us. Okay, another one, ORDI, the OG meme coin. I know Ray loves a bit of ORDI. I mean, if we look at this chart, it's been a little bit messy. He loves a bit of ORDI. He loves a smoke too, old Ray. And here we go. In fact, let's just check the like situation. I'm going to do this before Ray stops everybody. If you like the content and you're enjoying the content, hit the like, you see, I got you, Ray. I got you. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit the bell. Okay, so that you get notified when I go live. And because what if I don't go live at 5:30 every day? I'm going to surprise you one day, and you're not going to know. So you're going to have to hit that notification bell. Okay, Ray, hopefully I nailed that one. Okay. Okay, ORDI 8-hour. This is what I'm watching at the moment. So we had a nice sell-off. Okay, this was actually quite brutal, this sell-off. So hopefully nobody got caught too badly on leverage in this current situation. But that was quite a mess for us there on ORDI. So we had a 44% drop, which was pretty brutal. We got to say in the last couple of weeks. And now, if we are looking for something bullish here on ORDI, what do we need to see? Well, ideally, what I'm watching here is this 46.7 region. That's our 382 that we're going to pay attention to. So watch this 382 region now, 46.7, 46.8, and then we've got our juicy 618 lower down, and you can see why that's a nice little area for me. So that 618 region, loving this zone here. Anything into this 43 zone, and then a little bit higher, you're going to be watching that 46.74. So those are big areas for me. I love the look of this at the moment, especially on some BTC strength. Let's see. 𝗧𝗥𝗍𝗪𝗂 says, I haven't recovered what I lost in that liquidation level yet. Yes. Now remember, these things, when you get liquidated, it's an absolute mess. Okay. When the market melts down like that, there's nothing you can really do other than try and sit out for as long as you can. And remember, the minute these altcoins start turning and the market starts turning, those losses can get made back very quickly. You can make them back in a couple of days, and you forget very quickly. You forget the pain, and you forget very quickly how it's going. So just be patient there. When the market turns, you're going to be fine, and things will pump for you, and you will make it back. Okay. Another one that could be a play. it's technically a BRC ecosystem play. Okay, core, the fundamental guys will probably try and argue with me and explain things a little bit differently, but core is a BTC play, or a proxy type play, and something you want to be keeping your eyes on at the moment. So core is a nice one on the 12-hour. I like what I see here. I like the look of this thing, and we've seen this thing. If we've been watching Banter Bubbles over the last while, you can remember last week, and I think the previous week, we had this core really pushing and really pumping. So there was a lot of excitement on this core project, and you can see what's going on here. We've got a trend break now. We've got a rising trend in play, and things are looking very interesting for us. So we've got the rising fund line, and remember, once we lose that fund line, then we start reassessing and we start looking at things lower down. But as long as we're holding this fund line, for me, for this core, I'm looking for higher. I'm looking for a push up here. So what I would suggest here is for core, watch anything down to this trend retest. So let's just clean this up quickly. You want to watch anything down to that trend retest, and there's a nice little 618 for you. So anything down to this box below us here, roundabout this 2.17 for me, nice little juicy area. We got trend, we got 618, we got horizontals here for you guys, and anything in that zone looks like a nice little bounce area for me. But that's the deepest we want to go. We don't want to go much deeper than that, because that means we potentially now losing this trend. So that is our BTC pulling into the 618 level. That is going to tie in there nicely, and then a little bit higher. Obviously, you want to tie in your 382 and look at that support on the 12-hour. So we got a couple of 12-hour candles here for you guys coming into play. So this looks like a nice little juicy zone for us as well. So any move down into 2.35. Okay, so watch this zone, 2.35. Nice little move into trend here. That could be a nice little prize for us for core. Okay, so take a look. Fundamental guys, you can argue with me if you want, but the researchers basically told me it's a nice little BTC proxy play there for you guys. Let me see if there's any comments there in the chats. Let me know what you guys think. Okay, I see there's comments for 𝗘𝗘𝗢. Yes, 𝗘𝗘𝗢 is still cooking. Another one. Don't fade Uncle Run. That 𝗘𝗘𝗢 is a good. That 𝗘𝗘𝗢 is a good buy, and it's got its own channel now. So anything can happen here with this 𝗘𝗘𝗢. Rocka says, why does this guy keep popping in with cigarettes?
It's not a cigarette. That's the
it's
best.
a vape. It's a vape. Okay. Joe says lots of liquid. Calden's looking for near. Ray, you must put that vape away, bro. Okay, let's see what else we got. Okay, render. For those of you that have been waiting, okay, maybe there's a play here on render. We got NVIDIA results next month, okay? We might have a bullish market in the next couple of weeks, and we've seen these AI tokens. They've started moving a little bit. They're not looking the worst. We've had a couple of trend breaks here, especially on the 8-hour for render. So I'm liking the look of this at the moment, and always a good start when you get that trend break. It's always a good sign for us that maybe the trend is now going to change, and maybe we're going to get a bullish move out of the market. Now, what am I watching in the meantime? Well, you can see what's going on here. We're at resistance. So BTC is at resistance, and many altcoins are now at resistance. So we got render sitting at resistance as well. So let's pay attention there. If we get a BTC pullback, what are we looking for? We're looking for the 382 for render. We're looking for the 618 for render. So what you can do is pull your fibs from the lows to the highs, and just tie in where you can fit in horizontals, trend, and fibs together at the same time. The more confluence you have, the stronger that level is going to be for you. So keep your eyes on these zones. Now, the trend break is always a good. It's always a good sign for us. So what I want to say here, levels you want to watch if you're looking for buys on render, and you're looking for bullish pullback zones. Number one, you're looking for 8.6. Okay, zone number one. And then number two, we've got our 618, and we want to tie that in with any pullbacks. We're looking at 8 on the button. Okay, so the numbers are 8.6, 8.5 to 8.6, and 8 on the button. For me, for render, these are bullish zones. These are areas where you could start looking for longs in these zones. These are the areas you're going to start sniffing about, and you want to be looking for these bigger moves. So could be something on the cards here for render. A nice start of trend break. And remember, if we get a nice move over a few days, nothing wrong with a little bit of a pullback. We just don't want to go pull back all the way and do a full round trip. We want to have a bullish pullback, and for me, that's the 382, that's the 618. That's where we want to be for these bullish pullbacks. If you miss the move Okay, if you like me and you missed this altcoin move this weekend, if you missed the pump, unfortunately, now the safest play is to sit back and wait. You need to be patient now. This is where you really start testing yourself. So you need to look for these pullbacks. You want to settle down in a nice safe zone. Remember, some of these stochastic RSIs and things like that are quite overbought at the moment. So you really want to play the safe game, and you want to wait for these tokens to settle into their areas, or you want to wait for them to pop big resistance zones and then come back with some kind of support confirmation on these old resistance areas, and then you can get your entries. Obviously, if you're bullish, what you can do is start marking out areas of interest, and you can set buy orders as you go down into those zones as well. And then you don't necessarily have to be in front of your chart when these things are happening, and they can start clipping off entries for you guys as the price dips a little bit lower. Okay, here's another AI play, potential mover coming up for us. This is Fetch on the 4-hour, and you can see another strong trend break for us on Fetch. So that's a great start. And now nothing wrong with a little bit of consolidation, nothing wrong with a retest now. And, just let this thing relax, let it breathe a little bit. And you can see what's going on here. We've got a little bit of a flag forming at the moment for Fetch. So keep your eyes on this. I like what's going on here. We've got some horizontals here, and we've got the 382 in place. So 2.3 for me on Fetch looks like a nice little support region that you want to mark on your charts. 2.3, and then we've got our horizontals a little bit lower down. 2.22, love that area as well. You can see why this is a nice little zone for us. It was old resistance. Look at that acting as support there previously. So 2.22, and then don't forget your 618. A little bit lower down. Just be patient here. 2.14. So watch these levels. These are the areas you're going to build positions. These are the areas you're going to fiddle around in and just start nibbling. And obviously, if you guys are trading, 15-minute candles, 5-minute candles, that's a different game. But, if you're sitting back on the 4-hour, 8-hour, 12-hour, these are the areas for you. These are the big zones for you. And these are the ones that generally are going to give you the big moves that you are looking for. So just be patient. Watch these zones. And don't forget, resistance here for Fetch. Why is this big resistance? We've got horizontals here. We've got the 50-day moving average as well at 2.55. So we've got massive resistance ahead. So when we pop this flag, that's when it's going to get exciting, because we want to see it confirm support in that region, and then we're going to get our next move. So just be a little bit patient here. Let it play out a little bit. There is a 13% move coming for Fetch once it starts popping that 50-day MA. So there could be a nice little one on its way there for Fetch. Okay, let's see. I see the guys are loving NEAR again today. And look, Angry Pistons are shouting NEAR at me. Okay, let's urgently look at NEAR. It wasn't on my list for today, but let's take a look. I mean, you guys are screaming NEAR at me. Let's see what the story is. Okay, let's wipe this chart. Let's see what we got. Okay, let's go NEAR on the 12-hour. And wow, what a big mover. Okay, so NEAR, little layer one, potential AI narrative on NEAR. We know the CEO of NEAR was sitting at the NVIDIA conference, probably talking a massive game as well. And we saw NEAR pumping with AI tokens not too long ago. So that is definitely one you want to pay attention to. Okay, so let's mark out some interesting levels here for those of you trading at the moment. First thing I'm going to do is just look for my supports. I'm going to pull a fib from the lows to the highs. Let's take a look here. Okay, now we see when we pull a fib from the low to a high, you're making an assumption that when you're pulling it to the top, that's the top of the move. Obviously, we can see NEAR is now pushing and breaking trend, so it might push a little bit higher. So for the sake of this example, I'm going to pull this fib to this current high, and these are the support zones you're going to watch. So number one, we've got horizontals in play, so I love the look of this. 382 as well in play with these horizontals. So area number one for NEAR is 6. Okay, that's a huge zone, and yeah, loving that. 6 is the banger for me. Then a little bit higher, you've got your 50-day MA, 6.6. Okay, that is a nice little zone. So if you are in NEAR right now, or you're looking for a NEAR position, you want to identify big zones. You want to identify areas that if they do pull it back, where could it potentially bounce if it's going to stay bullish? And right now, the safest one I can give you. Now, I know you guys are probably gagging right now for a potential NEAR long, and I see how you guys are shouting at me in the chats. What I would say is we've got a break of trend. Okay, cool. That's great. That's a break of trend on the 12-hour. That could be a massive sign for us. And what does that mean? Well, it doesn't necessarily mean that NEAR can't come back on a pullback and test that 50-day MA and horizontal once again before it starts moving. So just exercise a little bit of caution. The safest move I can give you here is to say, use this 50-day MA as your support, 6.6. use that zone as your pullback area, use that zone as your potential bounce area. If you do get a meltdown, that's where you're looking for your first reaction, your first bounce. And otherwise, you can look at underneath this existing 12-hour candle here as support. So anything at around about 6.78. You can watch that area as a potential zone. But if you're looking for safe zones and you're asking me where's the safest place that I could look for support and exit zones, I'm going to say this 50-day MA, that's where it is, 6.6. And then a little bit lower down, you're watching 6 on the button. Anything higher than that, obviously you're putting yourself under a little bit of pressure if the market does pull back. But yes, I agree, NIR's looking good and breaking trend right now. So if you are long 6.78 and 6.6, those are your support zones that you want to watch. Nisra, what's up, bro? I'm just giving you my opinion, Okay, let's see what else is going on. Okay, maybe Nisra's dishing out advice there in the chats, telling people what to do. Repo's asking for about 𝗕𝗘𝗙𝗢. Kush is my cologne, says Ton. Now, guys, Ton is still on, but I spoke about it so much last week, and there's very bullish things happening with Ton. I could definitely suggest you want some of that in your spot bags, and we'll address it when it starts pumping again. We'll start looking at it closely again. But for me, I'm holding Ton, and I'm holding the redemption dog. That's REDO, the Redo dog. It's the first dog on the Ton network, and if Tong's going to turn bullish, well, I want a piece of that dog. So I've been holding that Redo dog for a while now, and there could be some bigger moves coming there on Ton. But we'll take a look at Ton again this week, so just hang in there. Let's see. I see who was saying this here. No, I've lost it. Somebody was saying the market had the munchies for the gummy dip. Yeah, guys, I mean, let's look at this munchies. There it is. Okay, so look, just pay attention. You can track the chart on Blowfin, and soon there's going to be listings on other exchanges as well for gummy. So watch that closely. And speaking of exchanges, now, guys, I want to just remind you one more time. You guys have seen me trading with WEEX, and over the last couple of months, and I just want to reiterate. I had a meeting with these guys, and there's some massive plans here coming for WEEX at the moment, and they are offering subscribers or new signups to WEEX a ridiculous sign-up bonus. You're not getting this anywhere. Okay, it's a 20% sign-up bonus for WEEX at the moment. Okay, so take a look. It's exclusive to this link in the description. And what I can tell you about WEEX at the moment is that they have some big things planned. There's going to be a token launch as well. All I can say is take a look how the MEXC token performed from the day it was launched and to where it is now. They've got some massive plans for WEEX. There's some massive upgrades coming to the current exchange as well. So things are looking really good here on WEEX, and there's a 20% sign-up bonus on offer if you are trading on their exchange. And there's a couple of other things going on that they are going to give you guys. So just pay attention to this. It's KYC friendly, as in you don't need to KYC. Okay, and they're trying to onboard as many people as possible now while it's early, and they're offering you these massive incentives to get on board. So jump onto WEEX, give it a try, and take a look. You can see I've been trading on it lately. I don't have any open positions now at the moment because I missed that big move that we had now on Sunday, but I'll probably be in something by tomorrow, and I'll take you through WEEX again. So 20% sign-up bonus on offer here for you guys. Take advantage of it. It's not going to be around forever. And take a look here. It's in the shopping list here. It's third from the top here. Look at WEEX here. Jump in there. Sign up for WEEX. Give it a go. No KYC there for you guys. Big things coming. And there's a token on its way. I can't stress this enough. There might even be some kind of token airdrop for people who are on WEEX. So pay attention and, keep an eye on WEEX. Okay, ONDO. Here's another one, real-world assets. If we're going to get a move in the markets, I like to look at real-world assets. I like to look at all the categories. And I wanted to bring ONDO to your attention again. And playing in a funny, I wouldn't say it's hilarious, but it is playing in a bit of a range at the moment. There's a lot of games that they've been playing here. Look at the size of these moves that they gave us a couple of weeks ago. I mean, it was actually brutal for any traders that got caught in this thing. But from the lows to the highs, they pumped this thing 86%. in a couple of days. I mean, we're talking in 2 or 3 days, this thing pumped 86%, and now it's tracking back to a more sort of realistic range and a nice little level at the moment. So ONDO, I'm watching this very closely. The best way you can do it is to bang out your trend, keep your eyes on your trend resistance, keep your eyes on your horizontal resistance as well. And if you get the opportunity to take a long on a token that's been playing in a range, and with the 50-day MA offering support, I would highly recommend you start looking for options here in this zone. So keep an eye on ONDO down to 0.72. Okay, there's a potential long coming here. If they do bleed this thing lower, there's a potential nice bounce here. This is range low. This is 618. This is 50-day moving average coming into play here. Keep your eyes on ONDO. Anything down to the 0.72 region, watch that zone. For me, there could be a nice little move. And if it starts moving early, well, there's a couple of things you can do here for the scalpers. You can pull your fibs, and you're probably going to find there is a little bit of support here. So let's just clean this up quickly. Let's give the scalpers something to work with as well. Okay, scalpers. You're looking from the lows to the highs. Okay, look at that. We've got a little 618 in play now for ONDO. Okay, so you got a nice 618 marker that you can play with. Watch that. Okay, if things start moving early, you've got your trend line, and you can see what's going on. So maybe they come and they give us a little 618 bounce here. Let's see what happens at resistance. If we do pop, then we're looking for that type of situation on ONDO. But for me, I'm loving this move. If we get this move to 72, you've got a banger setup brewing here for you. So mark this one, set your alarms. 72, we got the 50-day MA, we got the 618, and we got horizontals here for you guys. And Carlos, good question. When is this gaming run? We had a gaming run, when was it? Last year. And we were so bullish on gaming. And then what do we have? AI, all these things. And gaming has just been fading and fading and fading and fading. And then the meme tokens came, and they took all the fun. But I don't think gaming is lost. I think gaming will obviously have its chance. The same way we're going to see the layer ones pump again. We're going to see all these things. And we're just going to be patient. So I've got 2 gaming tokens for you guys today that we can play around in. I'm going to look at them shortly. And this is, I just wanted to touch on a layer one. Now, I didn't bring Sol today, but, you know, just a nice little example as to what's going on in the market. Here is AVAX. And this is a huge trend. So I'm watching AVAX very closely. Potential long setup coming here for us. This is the 8-hour trend that I've got my eyes on now for AVAX. And what do we want to see? Well, clear as day. You guys know exactly what I'm looking for here. You can see we've got some nice little candle here that can get taken out pretty quickly. And what I'm looking for, a little bang up here, and that retest, and then that move. So AVAX for me is teeing up to something interesting. If you are trying to build a position right now on AVAX, what you can do is start looking, and this is now obviously if you preempting that the market is going to start moving in the next couple of days, you can start working with the support on offer, because you can see what we got here. We've got this little candle that can get wiped out really quickly. So I've got my eyes on this at the moment. What you can do is watch support levels that are, well, number one, you can watch support under this candle, 38.8. Number 2, you can watch the support under the 382. Okay, let's see, what do we got here? 38.2. So keep your eyes on that one. 38.8, 38.2, and then we've got the 618. Okay, so this is a big one for us, and the 618 tiding with a little bit of horizontal. So if you are bullish on AVAX and you think BTC, any pullbacks on BTC isn't going to be too serious, well, this is your time where you can start looking at something small here that you can start preempting that we're going to get a move. Those are your zones that you want to be watching. And I think when we do get this break of trend, then things are really going to start accelerating here. And we should get a nice quick move up to about 44 there for me for AVAX. So I'm watching this one very closely and looking for something here in this AVAX situation. And I think Nia was a nice little guide that there is potential, you know, a little bit of action coming on some of these tokens. So AVAX a little bit of a lagger, but we could have something here. Okay, let's see. Dog with hat. Are we still looking at whiff? I see Favreau really likes this. He's only put up like 50 messages asking for whiff. I don't have whiff today, unfortunately. I'm going to bang it out for you guys tomorrow. Here's a gaming token. Okay, so I mean, I cover loads of gaming tokens here for you, and I chose Myria today just out of interest. It was just looking like a notable one to talk about. And so those of you that have been trading Myria or you know about it, gaming project, and they've got nodes and all these types of things going on, but we're hearing decent things about 𝗪𝗧𝗏. So what am I watching now on 𝗪𝗧𝗏? I'm just watching this trend. I'm playing a very simple game here, and you know, you just keep your eyes on these gaming tokens that are pushing against a trend, okay? Because eventually, you know, if we get that trend break, these things start moving and they start accelerating. So I've got my eyes on 𝗪𝗧𝗏 for the next couple of days. I want to see how this thing is going to perform, and you can see there's a little bit of trend pressure here. They are putting a little bit of pressure in this region. What does that tell me? It tells me that we might be getting some kind of move here in the short term. So right now we understand it is resistance, obviously, but the minute the minute BTC starts turning bullish again, I would expect some kind of pop here on 𝗪𝗧𝗏. And what am I watching? The 200-day MA, which we can see now is going to be resistance for us. We're going to get that kind of rejection, and then we're looking for these bigger moves. So 𝗪𝗧𝗏, I'm watching closely at the moment. Obviously, I don't want to see another retest of these absolute lows. That would be messy for us. But for me, when we get that trend break, I'm starting to look for potential longs in that area. So the minute that starts pushing that trend, I'm going to get a little bit more interested in that. And then, okay, another gaming token I got for you guys, IMX. Okay, so gaming play, we know Hustle loves this thing, and we had a nice little sell-off for IMX over the last couple of weeks. Let's just look at the size of this thing. I mean, 55%. Now, again, if something drops 55%, it doesn't mean it can't drop another 55%. And, you know, we can't always sit there and be shocked that something's dropped 50% or 80%, because they can always drop another 80%. So it's just is incredible that these altcoins can reset like that so quickly and in such a short space of time. I mean, this was less than a month ago. This thing was trading at 3.76, and they dipped it all the way to 1.7. So if you manage to get that buy off the 618, and again, it wasn't rocket science, it was just a move down into horizontal support and a 618 fib. I mean, there's nothing too complicated about that. Remember, when we get these bleed outs, these are the levels that you guys want to be watching. You want to be watching these strong zones, and we got that 618 and horizontal pump there from IMX, and now things are looking good, but we do have a trend in the way. So let's just pay attention to this trend and horizontal that is in the way. So IMX traders, look out here. Okay, we've got a big horizontal and trend in play for you at 2.55. That could offer a little bit of a fight for you if this thing starts pushing higher. So look out over there. Look out for the reaction in that zone. And then lower down, well, you got a nice little setup here. You got the 200-day MA coming into play for you, tied in right now, okay, with that 618 as well. So watch that. That's going to be your key support. So big support levels you want to watch. Number 1, 2.14. Number 2 on the button. Both of these areas, bullish zones, both of these nice little bounce zones for IMX. Any Bitcoin weakness, those are your areas that you are looking for some kind of bounce. Okay, guys, I'm out. There were so many charts, and my time is up. That was great. Again, nice to be back in town. Nice to be in front of you guys. I did 2 or 3 shows last week. It felt like an eternity that I've been away. So we got a lot of catching up to do. I've got a full schedule this week, including the Sunday night show, which I'm going to get going again for you guys. So that was fun. You've got your areas, you got your levels, you got the plan. Okay, let's see if BTC is going to play the game with us. Let me find my exit screen. Okay, guys, catch you later.